Hello, good morning, evening, noon, wherever you are, everyone. Welcome back once again to PixFix, the most important meal of the day. It's also the most important game dev and pixel art podcast you're currently listening to. I am Kyle Yaomon Sun, and with me today, as always, is Weasel. Weasel, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great.
Oh, great. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Makes me feel good. And of course, we have Ambivorous, Jeffrey, with us. How about you? How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks. Always glad to replace PPD. Basically, I am the new PPD. And a little bit tired because I've been working on my Dudum Day entry, but yeah, it's going really well. Very happy. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. Of course, in lieu of Kirk. And we have our guest today. We have Daniel Bitslap, very spectacular, wonderful guest here to talk about his expertise in game jams. It's a wonderful, very on-topic discussion. So how you doing today?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine. I'm a bit tired, but I'm always up for some game jam talk.
Oh yeah, very exciting.
Theme for tonight is being tired.
Yep. It's wonderful. It's morning for me, so it's even worse. But to start us off with, we're gonna, of course, get a bit into the talk about the guests, so we can get a general idea of what this is about. So I always like to start with a really weird, insightful question. Let's see. If you were stuck on an island, what are 3 items you will want with you? Daniel, take it away. Yeah. Try to answer in a bit of a way that gives us a bit of insight about who you are as an individual here.
I don't know. I would bring a typewriter.
Nice. You gotta write it down.
Very creative.
Yes. And I would bring some or a lot of whiskey and Spotify.
Good.
Whiskey,
Spotify.
type.
I mean, that's all you need in life, right, guys? I mean,
Yeah, just sit there, get drunk, listen to music, and typing away for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good picks.
Sounds,
Good picks.
sounds pretty good.
So, what is it that you do for well, on a day-to-day basis? I guess you wake up, your Bitslap. What do you do?
Well, I wake up and first I have to tell myself I can't be Bitslap for another 8 hours because I have to go to work.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Lame.
Yeah, but yes, I have been an IT consultant for the past 7 years or 8 years, but that is basically I recently quit because I have been employed as a Unity developer in a local startup for casual games.
Oh, that's really
sweet.
cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's a bit far away from being a pixel artist. The step to become a Unity programmer, I'm not sure how I made it, but I apparently I have. So
It's already done.
I will.
Past tense.
Yes, so I will basically be paid for doing 3D stuff, and I will still do Bitslap stuff when I get home.
All right, cool. So what happens when you get home? Do you boot up the old computer typewriter and get to work?
Yes, yeah. I do have some dream projects I'm working on always, and if there's not a game jam on, I try to draw or code some basics for my games, almost all the time. Yeah.
The fabled frog story.
Yes, it's a bit it's a pain these days because I've been working on it for 3 years now. It's a game called Frogtail. It has gone through incarnations here in both in my head and both in the in code. But I have been working on it for 3 years now. I'm getting closer to some kind of coherent experience in it.
Good.
Yeah, it's a game about a frog, and you jump around in it, and it's for mobile, and it has pixel art.
Of course.
Yes.
That's good.
So yeah, I basically love drawing with the Nintendo palette. The Nintendo 8-bit console is the one I look to most when it comes to inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into this whole game development thing? Did you was it like everyone else? You played your first Super Metroid and you're like, I gotta make my own Super Metroid, or did you have some kind of epiphany, like you're plumbing the bathroom, and be like, I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah, I was going to the toilet and I thought all this ruckus about going to the toilet is basically a good game idea not being made. No, in all seriousness, I kind of grew up with the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and I remember when I was like 8 or 9 years old, a friend of mine new in the block had a computer. I never seen a computer, and the first thing I asked him was, "Can we make a game?" And he was like, "No, we cannot make a game, but we can make a file." And I was like, "What is a file?" and that memory stuck with me. But later on, when I finished playing Secret of Mana for Super Nintendo, and I finished Terranigma for Super Nintendo, I had this urge to get more of this, because there was only 2 good action RPGs in that style on Super Nintendo. So, and I was searching for more games and I couldn't find them. So I started fantasizing about my own games, and so yeah, fast forward a couple of years, I learned a couple of tools, 3D tools, some Flash tools, and so on and so on. And I went to 3D school because it seemed logical. Learned about game development and got stuck in the IT business afterwards. And then I basically fired up a pixel editor because me and my friend was going to do Ludum there 5 years ago. And I decided I should really focus on doing pixel art, because this is where I come from. This is what I want to do. This is the reason to learn 3D was mostly an excuse to get into gaming, because at the time, whatever it is, 10 years ago, the indie market didn't exist like this. And if you wanted to work in 3D in gaming, you had to do 3D. So fast forward a couple of years, then pixel art is a valid medium again, and I just picked it up and practiced.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fan. Pixel art.
All right.
Do you think that game jams actually played a role in that let's call it rise of the indies once again, or is it maybe some resurgent is probably a better word, or is it maybe due to like the success of, say, Cave Story, for instance, was what I think the first really big indie success in terms of pixel art?
Yeah, I think you can look at it in several ways. The era when Cave Story came out was very interesting, because at first that was the game that inspired me to go back to pixel art. When I realized it was made by one person, and and sometime around that, when Edward Macmillan and the rest of the indie game movie crew made Super Meat Boy and those games, there was basically new tools coming out for publishing games. The XNA platform that Microsoft provided.
Yep.
A lot of people were able to realize their dream about having a game on console all of a sudden, and it was when the tools became available for people, regular people, not companies that could pay expensive dev kits. I mean, I think that was the ignition of this whole culture. And then when it's available in that when the tools are available like that, game jam seems to be the logical follow-up to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So,
all right,
Mom.
When you can hear you, don't worry.
When actually was your first game jam? Do you remember what game did you make?
Yes, I remember. It has the first pixel art I have ever draw.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's
those pictures.
I will see if I can find it.
That would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I made it with my friend. We were like planning on making games, but we didn't really find our edge. So I will just name drop him. I'm screen sharing him. This is my friend. His name is Soral. We made a couple of games. So I joined him on a Ludum Dare. I think we worked one day or so on it. Made a game called Super Farm Boy.
Super Farm Boy, nice.
Yeah. So I think I used Photoshop to make this logo, and I think I used Paint to make all these assets because I hadn't researched any tools. So there's a farmer. Here are the zombies, and you throw grenades on them, and you basically just run to the side all the time. And I think this was released in 2011, December 19. Yeah. So if you're good at math, you will know how many years ago it was.
38.
Yeah. Somewhere.
Almost, yeah, almost
much. At least 2, somewhere around that.
So this was basically the first game that we made, and I think I was particularly proud of this cabin here. I'm not really sure what kind of what kind of reference images I had for cabins, but it should have stones and wood logs.
Well, it's sturdy at least. Especially
Yeah,
when standing on a
cool.
cliff, you need a sturdy house, right?
That's actually, it's 100% accurate, yes. Yeah.
So yeah, after this we started talking about doing some more games, and since I didn't program then, he was doing all the programming in XNA. I just pushed my pixel art limits as far as I could all the time, studying sprites on Sprites resource, and just trying to push it. And then one day it just popped, and I knew how to draw a pixel art.
You just knew.
Yeah, I had the feeling. But yeah, so 2011 was my first game jam, and I don't know how many game jams I participated in.
Damn, that was my next question actually.
Yeah.
Can you estimate?
38.
Yeah. Let's say 3 Ludum Dares a year, but not really. But
But not really. Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I think I made over like 40 or 50 game jam games.
It's a significant amount.
Yes,
It's
and
actually really amazing.
I mean, I'm not counting the 30 or so I did in 1 hour game jam.
No.
Well,
Okay.
1 hour game jams are something different entirely.
Well,
Wasn't that your
yes and no,
brainchild
yeah.
even?
Well,
Yes.
what are the differences? Like the main big difference. I'm obviously, the 1 hour being okay, yeah, but
you have you have 47 hours less.
yeah.
No, but it was yeah. I okay to be estimating fairly. I think 20 or 30 game jam games, not counting 1 hour game jam.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Those are not all like Ludum Dares. You've probably participated in other game jams as well?
Yes, the ones there are some odd jams online sometimes. The game maker jams, some issue jams I've been joining. I mean, I was one of those in the Flappy Bird jam.
Oh.
What else? Yeah, and I attend a lot of local jams as well, and I've hosted some of the mini Ludum Dares, 2 of them or 3. I think 2.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think when you want to host them, they're like booked out for hosts for the next couple of years. I think 3 or 4 or so by now.
Yeah. So I waited patiently for a year or 2,
Ah,
and
damn.
then I was able to queue again at some point, and I had another one.
Nice.
Ah, cool, man.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're gonna continue our discussion on our topic of game jam. So, when you start the jam, what's the first step? Do you have like a extensive planning phase to make sure you get everything right on the first go, or do you just sort of wing it and just start doing whatever and fix things up as they break?
Well,
What's your work process?
I have so many different approaches, but I try new ones. I mean, I try a method. I think about a method and I say to myself, I will do this. And it falls apart somewhere.
So, I will do this thing. Whoops.
I once meticulously calculated all the time I should spend for each asset or each aspect of making a game. And then I included sleep in that sleep in there. But I think I wasn't able to fulfill it because when I had assigned 8 hours coding or whatever, and I felt so tired of coding, I had to draw some, and I had to go back to my schedule and see how many hours I could take or whatever and distribute, and it wasn't very fun. But my usual approach is that I just wake up and eat something, and especially if it's Ludendare. Ludendare is it is the mold for game jamming. So I'm speaking out of the perspective of participating in Ludendare now. I just try to wake up because I'm in Europe, so the jam has already been going on. But I look at it, theme, try to think about something. If the theme is speaking to me directly, I know what type of game design I want to do automatically. But usually I just fire up some platforming mechanics and see if I can find some nice mechanics to work on in that game mode or in that genre. And if I don't, I switch it. And when I have some good idea in my head, I usually draw a mock-up that includes all the elements, the HUD, the character, the unit sizes and all that. And then I just have the mock-up next to me while I program the game, and then I just import the art and spend the rest time on the polish and stressful music for 1 hour.
Yeah, that's always how it ends. Like, oh damn, I have like 3 hours left. I need music, I need a title screen. Okay, let's do it.
I need music and a title screen, let's do this. These things aren't even important, guys. We won't need to think about that.
Well.
Well.
Well, a hint of sarcasm.
Just hum something at the end.
Dude,
honestly, I'm considering that by now.
You're like a kazoo or something, or tambourine.
My kazoo is gone. I'm so mad about that.
Damn it! How are we do music now?
Well, hold on. I was expecting us to at least have a kazoo. How are we even gonna? This pen looks like shit. It's also too big.
Whoa.
Cool. Gone. Try this again.
Right. So Ludendare is going on right now. Number 39.
Yeah.
Oh man, the theme is running out of power. Did this theme not speak to you very well? Running out of power.
I just have a busy weekend. I cannot participate.
Oh.
The jam is happening 1 month earlier than I was hoping.
Yeah.
If
you could participate, what would you have made about running out of power?
From now, with the time I have left.
Well, I mean, what ideas would you have had with the theme in general?
Well, my own themes that I do have recurring in every game is that you start the game, you start fast, you die fast, you restart very fast. I like games with very iterative gameplay for the player. So maybe some static difficulties that I have to overcome by becoming better at the game. So, and running out of power kind of fits into that whole game, the whole fast core loop I usually make. So I guess since I always like to make blood in my games, and I like to make them brutal, I cannot make it into a robot. I
robots
guess
bleed oil, right?
Yeah.
but it's not as interesting for me because
That
I
sounds a
rely
bit disturbing. I don't know.
I rely on the visual feedback that blood is giving in pixels for my games to look pretty in a short amount of time.
All about the blood.
Yes. No. I would make something about making goals before the time runs out, and I would try to make some kind of refill. But I think I am a bit empty on ideas right now. But
okay, so there wasn't like an idea that sparked with you when you heard the theme.
I didn't allow myself to think about it because I have.
Okay, that's
cunning.
I have
was
denied.
really smart of you.
Yeah, I didn't have the time, so and I'm always thinking game design. So I have other game design to think about now. Yeah, I think I would make something a shooter of some kind, a top-down shooter, because I have been doing so many platformers. So I would do a top-down shooter of some kind at least, where you have to battle the enemies and the power companies at the same time.
The power companies. Evil utilities.
Yes.
Always trying to take over the world.
Take all my money, at least.
Yeah, take all my money. So, I mean, we actually went through quite a few different ideas when we started with this this Ludum Dare about running out of power. I mean, obviously the one that you think of first is robot with batteries, but you don't want to go with something too generic.
Because like 80% of the other participants probably have the same idea.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get at least 1 point in the imagination category, right? Surely.
Yeah.
And I think it was really hard to come up with something that isn't just straight up you have energy or like a battery or something, which I sort of I feel like it was actually a really difficult Ludum Dare to get a nice theme that you're really happy with going. I'm interested about your FPS. Actually, it's like it's a pity. Should have taken part. I would have enjoyed playing any game that you made, but alas. Are you going to at least try and make a game after Ludum Dare is done, maybe?
In the context of Ludum Dare?
Well, just, how much effort are you willing to put into just, fiddling with the idea, really, I guess?
0 effort.
0 effort.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bother with it. This theme.
I can say that I won't do anything for this Ludum Dare. I'm waiting for December to unleash the mind for Ludum Dare, but I think I was in a jam for 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Which one was it? Was it the HIO jam as well? It
was the Game Maker 48-hour jam. The subreddit for the Game Maker community. I use Game Maker, by the way. So the subreddit for Game Maker has 4 game jams a year, and they are they had one a couple of weekends ago, and I was really eager to make something out of some brain stuff I had going on for a while.
How'd you do in the jam? Did you away?
No, I decided to not participate when the game was about 50% finished because I wanted to make the game into a real game.
Yeah. See, you get ambitious and had to cancel the plan.
Yes, I got ambitious, and I saw the game I was making, and I was thinking I don't have the time to reach what I want to do. So the game jam helped me basically kickstart a bigger project, which is fine for me. I mean, I have been participating in so many game jams, so it doesn't feel like a waste of time, or I don't feel anything in particular if I do not make it in time.
Okay.
It is fine by me to just relax and not stress myself about it.
Okay, so you use it more as like an exploration for ideas and not as like an evangelical, like I have to finish this because whatever reason.
I gotta win.
I used to be like it. I have to finish. I have to make this game. This game has to be the best I've ever made. But I know now I cannot make the best games I've ever made in a game jam. I mean, I have kind of grown, I think, in terms of my approach to game jams. I still love them. But nowadays I can use them as a springboard for something else as well.
For like learning, right? You say you want to do like a top-down shooter. Is that going to be your plan for the next game jam? Try something you've been new that you haven't done yet?
Well, I'm making a side. Currently, I'm making a game in parallel with the Frog game, which have been wanting to make for a while. But it's basically a twin-stick shooter, but it's viewed from it's a side-scrolling twin-stick shooter underwater. So I'm doing the top-down controls in a side-scrolling environment, and that's what I wanted to try out. And I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to make it more proper. So, but still, I have been doing so many platforms for previous jams that I want to do something else, something top-down. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with platformers. So sometimes you need something more refreshing in terms of genre.
Yeah. It could be a bit dangerous to try something new during a game jam, though. What if it just like you just halfway through you encounter something you just have no idea how to do, and it just take too long to figure out.
Well,
that's part of the challenge, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but you risk just like blowing the whole thing out of the water, you know.
Well, top down is considerably easier to make than a platformer, I would say.
Yeah, just dealing with platformer physics is, oh my god. I don't know. Like when we were working on this one, I was starting to get worried I wouldn't figure out the freaking other axis for the beat 'em up. I would just be like, oh guys, we're doomed.
We're doomed. We can't. Let's just pull out now.
Yeah.
Well, since we mentioned it a couple times now, but we didn't really get into it. We could talk a bit about what we've actually been planning and working on since Friday night, I guess.
Yeah. For our entry for Loop.
Yeah, which was basically, well, two of us, that is Ambivorous and me, are in the Central European time zone, basically. So we were staying up till 3 a.m., had a call for an hour, throwing ideas back and forth, and we ended up with basically an ex-superhero that's like super rundown and an alcoholic, so he just needs his next fix of alcohol because he's running out. So he's gonna try to go to a liquor store, beating up people on the street to steal their beer. And
as you do.
Well, that's basically the gist of the game. And well, you need beer to get more powers, and when you use powers, you lose your alcohol level. So that's the kind of twist we were going for with the theme.
So it's alcohol instead of mana.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for mana.
Yeah, and because it's topical, we are beating up hobos that have like beer and whiskey, obviously.
Yeah, but we don't advocate beating up homeless in real life, you know.
No, this is an anti-hero story, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Are we not actually?
You're not supposed to sympathize with the character you're playing.
Yeah.
So it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Side-scrolling beat 'em up. Surely we have some gameplay somewhere. I am on a Windows machine. So.
I can do it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. We'll show you some of the work that we've done.
Yeah. Fire up your screen share for that.
And I'm doing the programming.
Yeah, I was just about to say, just to make it interesting, the two coders are doing the art and the artist is doing the code for this jam. So that's cool. I actually really enjoyed it because I was like never doing exclusively art in the past couple jams, so this is really refreshing.
I really enjoy too because I can just boss people around like, hey, I need this. Get it to me. Get it done to me by this time. All right, see you later. Oh my god, it feels great. This is what it feels like to be on the client side of things. Ooh.
Yeah. No, it's not. You finally
I don't
feeling
have to worry about anything. Alright, let me
it.
boot it up here. Okay, I found it. Application window. I'm just gonna use my screen. Fuck it. All right. Here it is, and it's wonderfulness. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but I'll just assume you can.
I can see your screen sharing Chrome tab at least.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're busy screen sharing
Oh,
me.
not anymore.
Let me try that. Nope, that doesn't work. Does it?
Yeah.
What?
By the way, Ambi is currently working on the game as well. If you were wondering what's happening there, Ambi is doing the environment art, and I've been working on the characters and animations for that.
Or how about now?
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah. The FPS is a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit slow on the screen share, but it's I can see it's looking really good.
Yeah, well, this is my first time working in a team environment, so
yeah,
definitely been an interesting experience. Rather than working alone on something, a bit less work, but it's a bit hectic figuring out who's gonna do what, like the sound effects and the music and all the stuff we didn't account for.
It's actually really fair that jam entries have a day more. Well, team entries have a day more than regular entries, because there's a lot of planning that needs to go back and forth, and that almost is a day in itself.
Yeah, it is. Communication, changes, translation of ideas.
Yeah.
I understand. I've done a couple of jam games myself. I know how it is.
Yeah, but so far it's actually really joyful, and it's a cool way when you go to sleep and you get back up, especially if you're like in completely different time zones. You get up and so much has happened.
Catch up on
really
everything.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh damn! No, what? Yeah. Like a real game now.
Every time, man. Oh, it's so great. I'm so happy working in a team. I've never made a game where I wasn't doing the programming. So quite like Kyle's experience of having to like doing the programming and all. Like, it's quite nice because I get to focus on the art. I really do enjoy doing the art, and I don't need to worry about bugs or anything. So I'm like, shit isn't working. Whatever, send it off to Yao.
Yeah, just now. Let's just make a bug report.
Guys, make a bug report.
Now you're on the receiving end.
Oh, now I'm feeling it. Yep. Yeah, this jump animation, this just gets better every time I see it.
Honestly, it's the worst animation, but I kind of like it.
I like it. It's charming. Yeah. So far we're how far would you say we're along with the game? 10%, 50%, 80%.
I'm gonna say 40.
40%?
Actually, I think we're further. Honestly, I think.
Well, though honestly, we haven't planned on how it's gonna end yet. We just said it's a beat 'em up. We'll spawn some enemies. You'll
We're
kill
nearly
a boss,
done.
I guess.
Like a lot of things.
But the thing is, as in the state it is now, we can almost submit it and call it done, right? And everything that comes after this point is like adding onto the experience. So that's just making it better and better.
Yeah, I'll just put in the background and spawn.
So what is the? Did you say you don't have an end?
Well,
I mean,
there
it's
are
gonna be like
some
one
ideas.
level.
The question.
Do you have a lose condition?
Yeah,
well, getting beat up by hobos is pretty much a lose condition.
Hobos fuck you up.
Both in real life and in the game. So
yeah. We're just modeling.
We don't have any idea. We didn't have any ideas on how to like spawn the enemies. Like
no, it's probably
like
just like being static placement, and then there's like you have in beat 'em ups, like encounter screens where enemies are spawning from the sides of the screen, crawling towards you, and you have to beat them up to be able to advance. And what I'd really like to see is like a boss fight. The idea that's floating around currently is like you want to go to the liquor store to get some alcohol, right? And then just when you arrive, like one of your friends that's trying to do an intermission on you steals all the alcohol from the shop and runs away. So you have to run after him,
Fucking
find him,
scumbag.
and then eventually beat him up to steal the alcohol back for your own
As you
sake.
do.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
He
like
was a scumbag, but trying to take your
thematically, we probably got this, in the bag here, but gameplay-wise, I'm not sure. It's gonna be some tough competition. I've been meaning to look at some of the other streams about, other people doing the jam, but haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, I've
check
seen
out
some
the-
really cool stuff on Twitter already. Really creative stuff and
God.
really, really well produced as well.
Oh no, we're doomed.
Guys,
That's
to be
sadly
fair,
fine.
we started this handicapped. It's not like we need to win.
Handicap. What do you mean? You started this unhit.
Our handicap. Our handicap, we decided that I was doing environmental art, which is what I'm worst at, and Weasel's doing animations, which he's
Wow.
self-admittedly worst
Is
at.
it insulting everyone? I see.
Yeah.
I'm bad at programming, right?
You're
Okay.
a shit programmer, and we were like,
Yep.
do the
Mhm.
programming.
Honestly,
That's
I
it.
have to say it goes really well for now.
No, actually, I'm super impressed. Like,
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't have expected this. I would have. I thought it would be a lot worse than this right now. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, no,
Especially the planning phase went atrociously.
what? Our planning phase was amazing.
We spent 30 minutes talking about nothing, and then just randomly decided on the idea.
Well, we were throwing ideas around that we considered not good enough, so that alone is progress, right?
Right. Process of elimination. Add
Yeah.
an idea and eliminate the idea.
Not to
Do
get
that
rid of
100
idea.
times.
I actually thought it was a pretty good process, other than like dabbling around for like 9 hours with random ideas that don't really work. I think we
Yeah.
did a good job on that.
Sorry, it's all learning experience, Then next time we do something like this, we'll just have it from the get-go. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, I personally like having some sort of. If I do a team, I like to talk about all the themes with my friends who I'm going to participate with, and see if we have some sort of framework of a game we want to try to focus on.
Yeah, we were doing that before the theme announcement, because we gotta make it a card game, no matter what theme.
Yeah,
No,
no matter what.
that's what you said.
All right, I had an executive override here.
I always wanted to make a racing game.
a racing card game. Oh my god.
A racing card game. It sounds amazing.
Damn, we
guys.
missed the opportunity. Oh,
We can
next
still
time.
make this a racing game. Don't worry. You race against the hobos instead, and
You
just
race.
sort of
Okay, let's add a tricycle, and there we go.
yeah, and then you can punch the hobos and slow them down.
Ah, okay, good. Done, guys. You've changed our theme. Easy. Okay, after going over this bin 50 times, I might be happy with it, guys. Don't worry.
here.
I got this.
Now we can finally start on the real game. Yo, is this the best idea to have one person do one thing, or should we just have each person do all the programming and art? 'Cause I've been wondering about that. I feel like it'd be less manageable, but you can really get a good cohesion going. It might just be super efficient,
What?
If one person is doing everything.
or everyone is doing everything. I can jump in and
Yeah,
add
Well,
a light.
I think that would be optimal because a lot of work is being done trying to translate ideas or functions.
You're waiting for someone to finish something
Yeah,
before you.
if you have an idea about the timing in a punch or the length of a jump or the force of the gravity, if you have that in mind already, and you don't have access to the code, you have to polish that timing or that gameplay through the coder. Or if you are,
right.
yeah, so that's a lot of time lost. But having everyone being able to participate on the same level means that you have to have GameMaker compatible with some source control, which it isn't.
Oh,
Yes.
is it not?
Well, it is compatible, but it's a mess trying to work with it, even with two people. I think the front end for the resource handling in everything you import in it, I don't think that is being refreshed. So
Oh,
if you commit your part of it into the main branch and the other one pulls it, you have to sort of the XML files that keep track of it are getting read wrong by the by the next guy.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of chaos and unintentional overrides, and that's probably nothing you really want.
Yeah, not during a game jam. I've been on too many game jams where the Unity people I was working with then was basically destroying the build all the time, just by committing and.
Oh yeah, that sounds lovely.
Well, how dare you commit, right? That's.
Yeah, so that has a downside as well. That's there's apparently no perfect way.
Yeah, but I mean there are sort of ways to work around it. I mean you can of course use a framework which is which could be better. For example, something
anything else.
Yes, anything else that doesn't have a visual front end like Unity or GameMaker. I guess. Yeah. But where's the
Unreal Engine for that matter? Yes, naked people on your screen. That's against terms of service.
We're gonna get banned from Twitch.
This is going straight to live stream fails on Reddit.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah, we'll get popular overnight. Don't worry.
Oh, that's actually great.
No, but I would love the idea of having the equivalent of myself next to me or somewhere else doing what I'm able to do, and
I can just clone myself.
That would be great.
Well, yeah, drawing, importing, but I think you can sort of compartmentalize the different areas you're working in GameMaker. I mean, if you have the same project sort of, and someone is working on everything actor related. You can just go into that folder in Dropbox or whatever, and import all those assets that has been made, and you can have a main project file, and you can work out of Dropbox. That's how I would have made it. That's actually how me and my brother is doing it now that he's helping me make the games.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it's possible that if one is controlling the main project file, I guess. It would be sweet. I can always dream.
More efficient than this. So, anyone else work on any other jams other than this one? I mean, obviously, Bitslap's got his entire portfolio under his belt, but Weasel and Ambivorous, have you worked on any amazingly fun game jams?
I have never worked on a game jam before. This is my first time popping my virginity with you guys. It's hot.
Oh yeah. And in the game jam part too, you're popping that part as well, yeah.
Yeah. Also that.
Popping so hard.
So wait a bit. This is your first one?
Yes.
Yeah. My second one. Ooh.
Wow.
So this must be Weasel's third one.
No, I have a couple more under my belt actually, but definitely not as many as Bitslap has.
No, when I just came into the Ludendare community, there was a name in the IRC channel, 3 letters. WZL Weasel, I got to know you. I think it was 5 years ago or something like that. I stuck around in the Ludendare channel because it was a nice community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you have been around for as long as I have, if not even longer.
No, I think I started around 2012. Probably. Don't really know from the top of my head. I can look it up though. But yeah, I probably did around 10 jams or so.
Yeah. You want to show off any of them?
Let me think. I think most of them don't run anymore because I made them in Flash.
Perfect.
So that was great. But I was talking last time about like the game with the cannibal where you stab and eat people. That was a Ludendare entry.
I think I remember that one.
That was actually really cool and fun.
It's quite memorable, yeah.
And then this year I actually participated in both LDs, but I forfeit the last one actually because I didn't really have a concrete idea of what I wanted to do. But the one I did in January was pretty cool, I think. Was a kind of action adventure in one room. And I think the thing that sold it was that I made all the sound effects with my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Which I've been doing like forever, but
The beatboxing game.
that's where the most praise comes from. Okay, let me see. Where can I go to my my profile page here?
Man, this is some unfortunate podcast timing. Because this one is the last weekend was Game Maker's Toolkit.
Well, it's good to have a break from jamming.
Yeah, I guess. There's some people who just work like 48 hours in a row and just die after. I'm not quite sure if that's feasible. I don't know, I kind of want to try doing that one time, but
dying.
Yeah, I want to try dying one time or two.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if my health can handle it, so you know.
Oh,
I had to put that off a bit.
I get it. I understand, man.
Yeah, understandable.
Okay. I just found my my profile site on Ludum Dare, and it says I have like 8 entries there, so that's. I don't think I participated in any other game jams, mostly because of time restrictions. But let's see, the latest one.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that one. I played that where you slashed the thing, right? 37. Yeah, I remember that.
That was like.
I got pretty far, and then my computer crashed.
Ah, damn! No, definitely not my fault.
Yeah, it wasn't a game; it was something else. But
yeah, this is the one. Yeah, I remember this one.
Ah, damn!
I didn't know you could charge the sword until.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I saw you have a Pong game there.
Yeah, I. Okay. Wait. Okay, so for this game, it was like basically enemies randomly spawning in a given pattern, getting stronger with each cycle, and you have attacks, level ups to provide stats, and that's basically it. For the theme was one room.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
So that was certainly interesting and pretty fun. But that was actually, I never did a game in JavaScript before, and I actually never really worked with JavaScript before, so I just winged it and like did all the research about like renderings. Like I used vanilla JavaScript, right? No libraries or frameworks whatsoever. So that was just to get to know JavaScript better. And for that alone, I think it went pretty well, even though it didn't really help for JavaScript to grow on me.
Yeah, no, JavaScript's kind of shitty. I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, all right. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah. Better not.
So, did you make the Pong game for a mini LD themed Pong?
I don't actually remember what the theme was.
There. Okay.
There.
The theme was there. Because I hosted the one mini Ludum Dare with the theme Pong.
Oh, I missed that one probably.
Yeah.
So just take this entry and submit.
I can't recall which one it was. But I love Pong as a basic idea of how a game is can be made. It has so many aspects of a game that anyone can approach Pong and learn something or do something more. It is the archetype of games, I think.
Yeah, and it's deceptively complex to even make it, considering all the collisions you have to avoid tunneling, power up management, score management. It's a really good game to start out, I think.
Yeah. There's a question from the chat saying, "What is the best one in your opinion, Bitslap?" I'm not sure what one is referring to. Might be.
I think he's referring to the Ludum Dare entries. I really like my last one called Kilobit.
Is that it?
What was the theme in Kilobit?
It's one room.
Oh, that one. Okay. That one was great.
Yeah. So I had several rooms.
Wow.
Damn.
It's a level-based game, so but the gameplay takes part in one room, and I'm showing a GIF of it in the Hangout. But you have this little character which I love because it's simple. I love using simple characters for jams. It was low res enough for me to be happy about it, and I have 3 bubbles. If you shoot them, they split into lesser bubbles. So it's basically a Pang clone, Super Pang. The weapons, however, can kill you as well. You're randomly given a weapon to use. It's an intercontinental ballistic missiles, a galaxy, and an ion cannon. So everything you can do is killing you, and the game every session is getting progressively harder because the bubbles are getting split more and more. So in terms of design, looks, and everything tied together, I really enjoyed doing this game, and I like that it exists. So this is the one I like the most.
Yeah, and this is also a perfect example of why I really like and enjoy your jam games so much, because it's often really simple, straightforward ideas, but extrapolated to the max. Like, okay, it's one room, but it's like every try is a different room, and it always looks and plays a bit differently, even though it's the same game. And getting that level of polish in a game is really cool as well. And certainly not easy to do. Well, you can actually see your experience there coming through.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we just
We're gonna get
made a random game.
We're gonna get into procedural generation now. Is that what that's leading
into? Yeah, let's just, because infinite.
It's a good way to get a lot of quantity over quality in content.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of procedural generation these days. That's why I didn't finish my Game Maker game in that jam, because I wanted to focus on getting procedural generation in order. And like it or not, but procedural generation has just as much meticulous game design as if you would just hand draw all the levels.
If not harder.
Yeah, it is hard.
Especially
because it bugs out even more when it starts generating. Like, oh man, yeah, it's a nightmare to deal with.
So I've been basically I have been proc generating and trying to do some interesting frameworks since after the Game Maker jam, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And if I ever join another game jam, which I will, but I know now how to approach the proc gen. I know what tools I have available. I know the process. So hopefully the next one can be better in terms of proc-gen, or at least be truly proc-gen, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Yeah. I'm always impressed when people are making sort of roguelites for the Ludendare or the game jams.
Yeah, because the balance on that is also really finicky.
Yeah.
So actually, just on this, since lots of experience, what is the most difficult type of game to make for Ludum Dare? Like, what's the worst decision you've ever made? Basically, is what I'm asking.
Making a 3D game.
Okay. Cool.
Well, 3D games are very easy to make anyway. If you know your tool, which could be Unity or Unreal, they are perfect engines for what they do. But when we did it, we set out to do 3D in the XNA framework. We had one pixel artist, that was me. It was one 3D artist who works in industrial 3D, sort of making simulator things.
Like AutoCAD or Cinema 4D stuff?
No, more like producing 3D models for boat simulators.
Oh, okay.
I mean, real
like
educational ones.
Mm-hmm.
Real educational simulations. They have like these huge decks, and they're shipping them to all the world's captains who need to go to captain school.
Captain school.
I don't know.
Captain school, guys. I go to captain school on the daily.
Yeah. So but he has experience in game 3D as well. It's basically the same, and our programmer at the time did usually 2D in XNA. So we had to figure out how to draw the 3D. We had to figure out what kind of game we did, and I think we have. I will see if I can find it. It's a Ludendare game. It didn't become very good. That was 3 people who had real experience in making games, and we had some extras, my brothers and another friend, and we didn't really know how to delegate so that everybody could participate. So it was for I'm bringing it up on my Hangouts.
So what you did wrong there is you probably tried to get everyone to do what they're best at. You see, you should have followed our example where you pick what you're worst at and you do that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get into
Just
practice.
Yeah. You go, hey, like what do you hate with life? Oh, okay, cool. Do that.
Yeah.
Those
Oh man.
So we made a game
Voxels,
called
what's character?
Minimala Jones and Raiders of the Lost Art.
Well, the title is amazing already.
Yeah. So it was basically this. I think you were this guy who was shooting people with his potato cannon, and they were the haters of art, I think.
Haters of art.
They hated the art, and I think it was stolen. And we had this level. You see how we basically took the screenshots to display that. Hey guys, we made 3D.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's 3D in a jam game.
I mean,
And it's
technically, yeah.
And we did so many sheets. I mean, look at this background here. Drawing this in such an ineffective way just to have a background for the actual tiles that you're moving on. It's such a shitty. It's so much cheating in here.
I like how in this screenshot you have a game over screen. Is there board?
I don't know. I mean, we usually did some fun stuff together, but when this was my long-term game jam partner, and we just invited everyone else to participate because we love it so much. And we had a smoke afterwards when we had polished the game, and we said to each other, "I'm not really sure I like this game. Let's meet again in 4 months and try again."
Okay.
So, and this was back in 2013. So I think I had already begun doing jam games on my own as well on the side, but I'm not sure. But I was living in another country from my friends, so it was nice visiting them. It was just not nice visiting them doing this shitty 3D. But we tried, and we had fun. So I would say doing something in with a team that is not really experienced or well worked together in a setting you're not comfortable with. That's the difficult one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice.
That also
We really are doing badly as far as everything goes.
I think you're doing. I think you're doing great. From what I saw, I think you have a really sweet looking game. It moves nicely. You have all the polished stuff.
Yeah, no, Yao actually fucking impressed the shit out of me. He's amazing with the gameplay things. It's great.
Yeah, he actually gives everything a good amount of juice, so it already feels really well to play. Unfortunately, it's really short so far. So that's good in itself, because otherwise we'd be stuck playing the game instead of doing art.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, we
It'll
wouldn't
be
even
too fun. Come on.
Yeah. That's another problem with making games. The difficult thing is when your game basic mechanics becomes really fun to play around with. I usually get stuck playing them and fantasizing about how it will be when it's finished.
Yeah.
And
you start thinking of all the cool features you can add, and then oh man, it gets out of control.
I'm thinking, but yeah, check this sweet polished basic jumping, man. This is really sweet.
Let's
polished basic
jump around for a few minutes here.
Yeah, hold on.
If it would only be just a few minutes.
That'd be fine, yeah.
Like an hour later, you're like, shit.
Shit.
You gotta share it with everyone after, so they can jump too, and you gotta get the feedback.
Seems like
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like, here, jump around for an hour so I can get an advantage. Coming back real quick to what you said earlier, like the experience you got about like getting better at procedural generation or gems in generally. Do you have like any kind of write-ups that you did, or any resources that you created for, well, game making in general?
I have nothing to share, man.
Nothing at all.
That's a pity.
No, No, I have a busy life, so I would love more sharing of what I'm doing. I would love to contribute more and more. The little sharing I am doing, it's in the communities I am in. I I go face to face, basically trying to help people that are asking if there is some sort of context where they want to learn. So yeah, I'm a very spontaneous person, so I rarely plan, I rarely produce other than what I'm thinking about for my game. So, but I want to do some sharing, definitely. I just don't have anything to share other than when people are asking me.
Yeah, okay, so there's like nothing you have been researching in particular that you think is like interesting to someone else because it's too specific maybe, or I don't know.
Well, I'm basically just using what I find and moving on to the next thing. But I should take a step back and see if I can I sort of convey this information. But I do spend a lot of time thinking about game design, and whoever is talking with me in some context will know that I'm very passionate about actual game design mechanics, especially for 2D games or pixel art games. But well, pixel art is not a genre, but the usual pixel art game tropes, which is platforming, that's where I think I have a lot of knowledge I can share. Yeah, but did I answer your question?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you said no, but that's fine. No, I've been wondering because lately I've been seeing on Twitter, for instance, there's Saint, for instance, and Hank Niebok as well are sharing like a little, let's call them cheat sheets for pixel art and animation, which are really cool. And I think a lot of newcomers are, well, it's very handy for newcomers because there are some like very basic like how do you shade something, how do you work with certain materials, how do you work with color palettes and stuff like that, animations, and that's just really cool, easily digestible, and I'd really like to, well, also contribute to that, but also see if other have plans to maybe go into that direction as well.
Yeah. You're quite right about these new type of conveying pixel art tutorials. I really do enjoy them. They're sweet, they're tasty, and they convey a lot of good information. I want to eat them. But yeah, I think about the format, and I think I do have something to contribute in those formats. I want to do before the next jam. The next Ludendorff, of course, I want to do some sort of tips and tricks for how I approach a good look in a game with minimal effort. Because that's what I think is important for game jams. You have to know how to produce what you want to do, and you have to do it fast. Or you don't have to do it fast. It's just how I approach it.
Yeah.
I draw once and I'm finished, basically.
So actually, I do remember you mentioning earlier, well, two things. So when we started this, definitely one of the first things I did, I went straight to drawing a quick mock-up of what we want our game to look like, or yeah, just to, and this, I think that really helped because it sort of showed it, like, especially with the issue of working with other people, so you're showing them, listen, this is what I think we should be. This is my idea of where our game's going, and then at least you're all on the same page. How am I going to share this with you guys? The first mock-up. Does anyone have the first mock-up? Otherwise, I'll just show it on my screen.
Oh no, go ahead, show it.
Okay.
I was just showing some stuff by Saint, but you got the focus now. You're the spotlight.
No. Don't do this to me. Okay, well, I'll open up an Asprite because... How do I even pronounce that? Asprite?
Asprite, I think it's how it's pronounced.
Okay.
I've been saying this.
So, this was the initial concept that I put together, day one.
Damn, I don't even remember that. I think I was asleep when you did that, actually.
No, I saw that. And I said,
yeah, actually,
but this was this was right when I had the platformer mechanics working, and then he was like, "All right, let's add the depth axis." I'm like, "Oh, we're fucked." Yeah, that was around that time.
Yeah. Uh-oh, fucked. Give up now. Walk away. So yeah, I basically drew this and yeah, so it's a good thing I did, because then my idea of what this is going to look like immediately conveyed to Kyle, and then yeah, I mean, this is what it looks like now. There's my sex shop. You can see. I'll just compare.
I like the street sign there better. Maybe we should take that one.
Oh, this one, really? You like it better than this one?
Yeah, because it's blue, you know? I don't like red.
Oh, that's fair. I don't even know what the sign's supposed to be. I don't know what blue signs are. They're like speed limits.
It's like, no, it's...
or something.
Well, over here it's more like pedestrian signs. Like pedestrians are allowed to go here.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's meant to be a no parking sign, so well, I'll make it blue just for you. Okay, it'll be great.
Two different signs, you know. We're all about diversity here.
All about diversity. Yeah, and I think yeah, it was really useful to actually just throw a quick mock-up together. I think that's like your first step towards what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely looking a lot better now than it does in the mock-up.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Nice and polished.
Also, another really interesting thing that I'm not sure how intentional you were on that. You were using the EB32 palette.
Yes.
The Dawnbringer palette, for everyone who doesn't know it.
What? Sorry, wait. Oh, my bad. This is On's 32 color palette.
Is it? I'm pretty sure it's Dawnbringer's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Am I accidentally using the wrong palette?
Probably. Well, in any case,
this is the new one, right?
I want to credit the wrong person.
This is the expanded one. The Dawnbringer 32 fun.
Apparently, I have to Google this quickly, because like PB32 versus On's 32. Shit.
Yeah, that is another great tips for whenever I'm trying to tell people what to do in the first step towards making pixel art. I'm saying just learn how to use the Dawnbringer's 16 color palette. Do not use any other color.
Shit, you guys are right. This is Dawnbringer's. Fuck.
Regardless. Yeah,
I recognize those. I recognize those pixels. I've seen many in my time.
Seen these pixels before. It's called On's Extended 16 plus 16, the extended version. Yes, this is not it, but there are a lot of similar colors. So, and that explains. I thought I was missing some colors. I was like, I swear I was supposed to have some other colors. Why am I not having these colors? Okay, well there we go. The more you know, guys. Pay attention to which palette you're using. Sometimes, maybe.
Yeah, and by trained, I immediately realized this is the Dawnbringer palette. So I was actually asking him if it was like a deliberate restriction. So all my characters also are using that palette, and well, it also had me at outlines because the colors are just too similar. Otherwise, otherwise it would blend into each other too much. But it works really well, and it's very consistent. And I think it's also a really good choice if you have several artists on a game jam game to have consistent art and background and foreground to use the same palette.
Please do that. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Because otherwise, things could not have looked even the same. But that is another thing we discussed really. I think that our planning session went really, really well, because we did. Okay, so we spent an entire hour not doing any actual game dev.
An hour is nothing. But
exactly. Compared to how much time we might have wasted if we had started using different palettes or some shit, I suppose. And it's just it saves it actually.
Good work, guys. Good teamwork.
Yeah, good teamwork. We accidentally did really well.
Not intended at all.
Yeah, not intended. No, we just
the theme of our game jam. Yeah.
Current theme is shit. Hey, actually, this isn't going that badly.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm really impressed at everyone's progress. I thought that we'd be at this point, like this time tomorrow, and we'd spend the last 4 hours just trying to get something out. But here we are, 24 hours to spare. I might even get sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to bed. See you guys. Bye. Right, so, well, we talked the hour away. Is there, to Bitslap, anything you want to talk about we didn't get to, or any question you wanted us to ask that didn't come up?
I don't know.
You did say you had a question in the beginning.
I did.
Yeah, you asked.
Well, I wanted to know what you're doing, and you have been talking about it.
Oh, right. Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Oh,
Yes.
there it is.
Yeah, this is what we've been doing. Our great jam.
Yeah.
Dudum Dare Game Jam entry as PixFix, because representing.
Oh, do we have a name for this game? Come on, guys.
That's a good point. It's time to sell. It's called Hero to Zero. So
That's
far,
right.
working title, maybe.
Wonderful name.
It's a fitting title, but if you actually look for the hashtag, there's a lot of Trump stuff going on, and well, make your mind up about that for yourself, I guess.
We'll take over the hashtag. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sooner or later.
We're popular enough. All right. Well, if that's all we had to talk about, then I mean, I guess we probably have more to talk about, but time constraints, alas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we gotta finish this at some point.
Short life to live. So then we had to go through everyone with shout outs, plugs, everything they want to do. Ambivorous, you can go first since you're at the top.
Yes. First. So, I mean, shout out as always to the guys watching. It's always awesome. Shout out to you two, of course. Really impressed with your work that you've done on the game and just in general. The PixFix always it goes a lot better than I expect. I think I'm going to be terrible. Things don't go too bad. Good job, guys. And I guess shout out to anyone who's just taught me how to do art or pixel art or make games, because it's come very much in handy in the time when I had to make a game jam. So cool. Oh, and plugs, Ambivorous on everything. If you need me, just go to a thing that you want to see me on and type Ambivorous in.
Go on Bing.com and then put his name in there. It'll show up everywhere.
And you should find me.
All right. I guess we'll go down the list. So I'm next. I am Yaomon at YaomonKS on Twitter. I pretty much only use Twitter now, so yeah, that's where you'll find me, I guess. Oh, my website, kylesun.net, KYLESUN.net, for commissions, which I'm not taking right now, so don't actually go on that. Because it costs me money if you go on that, so don't do that. And shout-outs.
Post it.
No, don't post it. It costs me like 50 cents if like 2 people go on. All right, shout-outs to the viewers, of course. All I think we peaked at 11, so it's going up every week. Pretty soon we'll be the biggest in the world. Yeah. All right. Shout out to all 12 of those people.
Yes.
Of course to my fellow hosts and the guests, Bitslap. Thank you very much for having coming on the show today. And yeah, that's about all the shouts I have. Weasel, I guess you're next, going down the list.
Yeah, well, it was a great show so far, and well, for the next few minutes, I guess.
That's shit now that you're talking. Heyo.
Yay. Well, big shoutouts to POV and every one of the organizers for Ludum Dare, because they've been putting a lot of work into the game jam, like every couple of months, and they're maintaining the site as well. They've actually put down a new compo site, which is ldjam.com, if I'm not mistaken.
Jam.com.
And that's looking dope so far. Really, really curious what they're coming up with for that one as well. Yeah, shoutouts to PPD for being here with us today.
Yay!
Maybe next week.
Okay, yeah, you can find me on twitter.com/megaweasel, that's mega WEEZL, or twitch.tv/megaweasel. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, Bitslap, you want to finish us off here?
Sure. I'm not really good at these things, but I want to, first and foremost, if any one of you is listening, everyone who has ever liked anything I've ever done.
Well, that's a shit ton of people. Basically,
yes.
Almost the whole internet.
Very
Yes,
general.
because each and every one is it means the world to me when it comes to what I'm doing. It keeps me. It makes me fall asleep at night. Makes me want to wake up every day. But I also want to thank every organizer of this jam that I'm not participating in, because it really brought me out and helped shape me as a game developer. And I want to thank you guys for having me. It was really fun. I'm going to miss this. So thank you.
You can come back sometime.
Good old Thierry.
We'd like to have you.
Like how we permanently absorbed Ambivorous.
Soon we'll be like 20 people in here constantly.
Yeah.
It's a nice thought. But yeah, thank you for having me. And for everyone who was watching this, yeah, my plugs is slap my bits up on Twitter or bitslap.se, because it's a Swedish site.
Look at that.
And that is basically my portfolio. Yeah,
Expensive bits.
that's me.
All right, cool. Anyone have anything else to say?
Yeah, all the links mentioned here will be able for you to find in the description box below if you're on YouTube, and otherwise send us a message and we will try to provide any links that were mentioned. Also, a quick shout out to pixelation.org, because that's the best newcomer resource and critique section for pixel art.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I have nothing else to say, so that's it for me.
Right, that sounds good, and I think we're done here. Thanks everyone for participating.
Yes,
thanks for watching. And see you next time in 2 weeks. That is, oh god, I should check the date before we actually end the episode next time. That's August, I'm pretty sure it's August the 13th, 10 p.m. CEST on twitch.tv/pix_fix, because PixFix TV was taken. Bastards. Otherwise, follow PixFix TV on Twitter for updates or feedback or whatever you want to tell us. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Cheers, night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.